Premier, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. You too, in your address, felt the need to highlight the issue of gender-based violence, even though there was a different theme.
Yes, thank you, Vuyo, and thanks from the viewers of your program. I believe that it is important that we emphasize the need of all of us uniting and fight the gender-based violence, because it undermines women's rights, but also it portrays South Africa as a society that is not harmonious, that does not respect the rights of women and children. We need all of us, the traditional leaders, religious leaders, the government, as well as business leaders, to unite and ensure that we run a clear campaign to ensure that we fight gender-based violence, but don't fight it only now. We must make it our culture. We must make it to be part of the way we live, to respect the rights of all people, to promote and emphasize gender equality and ensure women emancipation in the society.
Well, King Zwelithini, of course, making a call there, saying government must include traditional leaders in trying to resolve all issues, whether it is gender-based violence or xenophobia, specifically highlighting, making a point about the fact that perhaps before the president sent special envoys to Nigeria and other parts of the continent, maybe traditional leaders should have been consulted as well. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't think the King, His Majesty, the King, was only speaking about being consulted on this issue only. And he even made it clear that he was not criticizing the steps taken by the president and the government, but he was emphasizing the part that the traditional leaders must also be included, because they also have a role to play in building the society. With regard to us as KwaZulu-Natal, we have a provincial council on moral regeneration and social cohesion, and that council includes all stakeholders. It is led by government, chaired by the Premier, but working together with the religious leaders, and the co-chair or the deputy chair is from the religious leaders, and it is Archbishop Reuben Phillips. We are expecting also to mobilize traditional leaders. They are also organized under the leadership of His Majesty, as well as under the House of Traditional Leaders. So in all our campaigns, we will be ensuring that they participate and find a role to play.
Of course, I mean, another issue you raised today during your address is that of the safety of students, tertiary institution students, that is. Now, one of the issues that universities are raising is that they don't have land or places where they can actually build safe places for these students. Is that an issue that your government is looking into as well?
Yes, as part of the program to respond to these challenges of the femicide violence, tomorrow we'll be having a debate at the legislature, which will be led by the Premier. And after that, we are rolling a program which does not start and end now, but it's going to go down to all areas. On Friday, we will be meeting with consulates who are based in Durban, as well as representatives of various tertiary institutions. That matter, it's a matter that we'll have to discuss. We do believe that we need to get safer areas where students will be able to stay, and such areas should be in an environment that is not affected by a lot of challenges, because in some cases, you will find that student residents are around areas that are dominated by alcohol, and therefore students will engage on alcohol abuse, which is wrong because that affects their studying. So we are going to take that up when we meet with the representatives of tertiary institutions on Friday.
Well, staying with universities for a second, today being Heritage Day, and the emphasis this time around being on the promotion of our languages. Do you think that the universities in your province have come to the party and are promoting isiZulu?
Well, we cannot deny the fact that for a long period, indigenous languages have been relegated to the periphery, undermined and not recognized. Yet there have been a number of academics, professors, who have been writing and contributing a lot to the development of literature based on the indigenous languages. And this is Zulu. It's one of those languages that are developing right now and becoming recognized. I think a number of universities, such as University of KwaZulu-Natal, Durban University of Technology, they now have programs that recognize isiZulu, and that is quite important. But we must not only emphasize the question of indigenous languages at tertiary level, because in nowadays, even at a primary and secondary level, you will find that indigenous languages are not that of a priority. And therefore, we must engage on that and ensure that indigenous languages are prioritized in all educational levels.
Premier, thank you very much for your time this evening. The Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala, coming through to us live from our Durban studios.